Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I was fortunate enough to attend the Disney store in London for the set release for Ursula's return. Ravensburger invited me on over and look at all that product. Illumineer's trove, packs for days, and of course the brand new co-op mode. I was also very lucky to meet the wonderful Emily Abidera, who signed my Friend Like Me card. She's also the artist behind quite a few Set 4 cards. Emily, also the artist of Be King, Undisputed, Camillo Madrigal Prankster, and Peter Pan Shadowfinder, all in Set 4. Incredible art. I was very fortunate, as you can see my very terrible shuffling skills, to play Ursula's new co-op mode, the Illumineer's Quest. I played with Lorcana Villain. We played on the normal difficulty. It was pretty tricky. What is inside the golden pack, you might wonder? Well, who knows? I know, but I want to keep that a secret at the request of Ravensburger. As you see, Lorcana Villain and I having an absolute blast on the new co-op mode. You don't actually need a person to play as Ursula, but we were fortunate enough to have someone from Ravensburger doing their best to beat us as Ursula, but we were victorious. And yeah, then I got home and I thought, well, let's see what is in the box. What is in the box of the Illumineer's Quest, this new co-op mode? I have to say I loved it. And we're going to talk quite a bit about exactly what the game entails, what's good about it. Of course, we'll also talk about, is it worth it? And as you can see, yeah, not a very good person for box openings, apparently. I think I need to might improve my skills in this department. All right, mate, come on, maybe get a knife or something. This is painful. This really is painful. There we go. Look at that. Easy as you like. So inside the box, you get a bunch of damage counters, some lore counters. You get this golden contract pack, which is quite light. I was expecting it to be heavier. It says, only the victors shall unseal this packet and claim the prize within, or this treasure will become property of Ursula. Wonderful. You get this little booklet, which explains how the game works. You also get this paper playmat for Illumineer's Quest, Deep Trouble, but on the other side, this is kind of the playmat which Ursula uses, which kind of helps you out, tells you exactly where to be putting all her things. You get this other very large card, which, oh, look at that, terrible at opening things. These packets remind me of shredded wheat. Anyone else? Nestle shredded wheat. And when you're opening like those, it's the same kind of packaging. So there's a bunch of different, look at that, it's Ursula's Ruler of Lucana. Just a nice big Ursula card. The other ones are the different difficulty modes. There's 4 of them, and the most difficult is absolutely mind-blowingly difficult. In fact, I tried playing solo mode against the most difficult difficulty, and I was basically dead on board after about 4 turns. So what you can actually do is you can build your own decks, not using these starter deck type cards they give you, and actually just bring in any Lorcana deck you want. So you can actually build a deck to beat Ursula's return. So you get 2 different decks of 60 cards in there. Piglet Pooh, Pirate Captain, and Milan E. Archer. Note the little special pattern in the top right of those cards, as well as a bit of a frame break. So this one's a Ruby and Amber deck. Ruby and Amber, one of the front runners for very strong decks for Set 4 as well in the competitive play with Milan, cards like Rapunzel. You do get a Rapunzel in this one, but not, of course, the legendary Rapunzel. But definitely a nice deck if you're looking to be playing Set 4 competitively with a Ruby Amber deck. Simply from the fact that you get this Milan Elite Archer card, you would imagine it's going to be one of the more valuable cards in Set 4. Dingle Hoppers, Lantern, you get the Super Goof, couple copies of him. That's also a very good rare card in Set 4. A lot of it's not great, but honestly, there wasn't really too many terrible cards in here. And the fact you get a lot of the Milans, as well as a Shift Milan, is pretty damn nice. Overall, this is the deck that I was playing with, and I found it to be pretty good. Lacked a little bit in card draw, but as you're going to see right at the end here, you do get a couple copies of Medallion Weights. In fact, you get 3 copies of Medallion Weights, which I found to be a really good card draw tool. The other one is an Amethyst and Steel Broom themed deck, which a Lorcana Villain had. Yensid, legendary. Also from the set, I think it's a very good card, actually. I think Brooms... I'm going to be bringing you a Broom deck pretty soon. You also get this Mickey Mouse card. And then just a bunch of other Amethyst and Steel cards. A lot of them Magic Brooms, but not all of them. A few Jafars in there as well. This deck also seemed pretty good. Of course, the interesting thing in a co-op mode game is you're working together. So you're able to give support, potentially, to your friends' characters. You can use Mouse Armor, or you can use Lantern on opponents, like your friends' stuff. Things like this are very, very interesting interactions. As you can tell, I got very surprised when I saw Lithos. I was like, wait, is this a set 5 card? I'd never seen it before, but in fact, it was a set 3 card. Just which one I didn't remember. But Raya also there, super rare from set 4. You do get in this deck as well. Storm Rage on Smash. Overall, like, lots of very solid cards. Strength of Raging Fire, which is actually worth a few bob. A couple copies of Mouse Arm. And then finally, you get Ursula's deck with these gold backs. So these are cards which are not legal. They've got like unique artworks, unique names, but unfortunately Ravensburger asked me not to share the contents of this deck. I am going to explain to you exactly how Ursula works, and we can show you a couple of the cards on Ursula's deck. But if you want to find out more about what's inside Ursula's deck, definitely recommend you just picking up the product yourself. Here you can see one example of the entangled cards within Ursula's deck. This is a character card, Captain Hook, Devious Duelist. Costs 5 ink, it's uninkable. 7 strength, 4 willpower, quest for 2. Doesn't have an ability, this one, but it does have some pretty cool card text. An obvious choice, of course. So full of treachery and deceit. He reminds me of me, Ursula. You can see there's 31 different characters or cards in Ursula's deck. As you can see at the bottom, they're 3 out of 31. And this is a Q1 quest 1. So definitely likely, therefore, that we're going to be getting more of these in the future if it is well received. All of the cards in here are super fascinating to look through. Unique artwork, some new cool flavor text, all relating to Ursula and her entanglement of different Lorcana characters. Just to kind of show you how the gameplay loops here, you start off like normal. You just mulligan as you would in any normal game of Disney Lorcana. So I'm going to pitch your mulligan 3 of my cards here, keeping a nice curve. I have Milan, Pegasus, Milan for my first 3 turns, and then I draw into Rapunzel, Tinkerbell, and another Tinkerbell. Maybe someone didn't shuffle the deck that well. So because I'm not able to show you the cards within Ursula's deck, it's pretty difficult to actually demonstrate exactly the gameplay. So in the background, while I'm talking about some of the other bits here, you can just see me opening my Illumineer's trove to see what's inside that. So just to be clear, the Illumineer's trove is not part of the Illumineer's quest. It is a separate product, but I thought you guys would be pretty interested in seeing me open it, and I didn't really want to post a full video on just the trove here. Ursula just plays cards as soon as she flips them over. So she flips over a card. Let's say she has 5 ink in the bank and the card costs 6. She's not able to play that card. So instead, the card goes into her inkwell face down. And then she flips over another card. Let's say she's then at 6 ink and it's a 6 cost card. She would then be able to play that 6 cost card. Then if she flips over another card and it's a 1 cost card, Ursula doesn't actually exert ink like a traditional player would. She's got 2 ink and she finds a 2 cost card. She can play that, but then if she finds another 2 cost card, she is still able to play that according to the rules. Of course, with a co-op mode like this, you can certainly have some of your own house rules, but I did find it to be very, very difficult indeed. And the gameplay loop I found it to be pretty nice, pretty solid. Ursula's going to resolve her cards from left to right. So if she's got any items, for example, those are going to trigger their abilities. Any character she has will quest, with the exception of any character which has the reckless keyword, of course, is unable to quest and therefore must challenge one of the player's characters, and the way you resolve that is the players just decide which character that reckless character will be challenging. Of course, what you could also do with some house rules as well is if you wanted to have someone playing as Ursula, that would then maybe give the player who is Ursula the opportunity to challenge with their cards instead of just quest. But usually the way this one's going to work is it's the players against Ursula, and therefore if you have Ursula being played by the computer, if you will, she's just kind of doing her own thing. All of her cards are just going to resolve automatically, apart from any cards of reckless. Overall, I found it to be really solid, really, really fun. Definitely the difficulty is incredibly hard if you ramp it up, but that's also something I love. I mean, with a box like this where you just get all of it, you pay a fair amount of money to have it. If it's super easy, then you're not going to get much replayability out of it, but it's challenging enough with the decks which you are provided with. But then you've got that extra option of an insane challenge where you can spend time building a specific deck using any of your other Disney Lorcana characters and cards to try and take down Ursula on the most difficult setting, which is so much fun and something I'm really excited to try out. So overall, the question is, do I think Ursula's Illumineer's quest is good? Yes, I think it's brilliant. I think it's an absolutely fantastic and fascinating new way to play Disney Lorcana. If you're someone that struggles maybe to get their family and friends into card games, this could be a great way to do it. In fact, just after recording this video, I'm going to be visiting some friends and I'm going to bring this with me, and maybe that will be the first thing that allows me to get them hooked on Lorcana, and then maybe, who knows, in a year's time they'll be coming down to locals with me. Thing where if you love card games, you love Disney Lorcana, you want to try and get your family and friends into it, it's a really good way of doing that because you're going to be working together, and that's just a really fun dynamic as well. Overall, I just really enjoy the concept of it, playing in unison against a big boss. The difficulty level challenges mean that this is great value for money because not only do you have the limited amount of challenge with the specific decks, which is kind of tailor-made and designed by the Ravensburger team, but then you've also got that fourth really difficult extra option where you can spend a lot of time crafting the perfect deck to take this one down. And added to that as well, just the value in terms of the cards that you're getting, which are legal in competitive play. This Milan Elite Archer in particular is going to be worth quite a lot of money in her own right. So you're already getting quite a lot of value in that sense as well. So I really think it's a great product to pick up. I'm a huge fan of it. I'm incredibly impressed. And I would definitely, absolutely recommend this to anyone that loves Disney Lorcana. I think it's a must-have purchase. All right, thanks again so much to Ravensburger for inviting me down, also for giving me this Illumineer quest for free. The trove I did purchase with my own money, and it was pretty good. I mean, I've got some pretty good packs in that one. But my next pack opening is coming on the channel a bit later, so look out for that. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Let me know, are you picking up Ursula's Return Illumineer quest? Thanks so much for watching. Give it a like, and see you on the next video.